Shambhavi is a very powerful process, but the way it energizes our system is by moving the energy above the spinal cord or making it come from the root chakra to Sahasrara. And when you're practicing Shambhavi, one of the most important things that we should make sure that we are doing on a daily basis is focusing on those chakras, or in other words, these chakras have a physical dimension and then a much more deeper dimension. The much more deeper dimension is the spiritual dimension. When you want to access your energies on a spiritual dimension, the way that can be accomplished is by focusing, is by consciously thinking about that particular chakra or that particular action the chakra represents. In order for us to understand what each chakra is capable of doing, I'm going to read some text from Isha's website that Sadhguru has written so that we all know what these meanings are. If your energies are dominant in Mooladhara, then food and sleep will be the most dominant in your body. That means also, in other words, if you're constantly thinking about food and sleep, your energies can also be in Mooladhara. So there are two ways this can go. Either you're looking at your mind to crave for these things, and obviously your energies go to Mooladhara, or your energies are already there in Mooladhara, and you will crave food and sleep. I hope you understand where I'm going with this. That means consciously you have the power at every single point of time to choose where your energies are focused on a given day. So when you're practicing Shambhavi, one of the key aspects of this is to absolutely use that intuitiveness. If you start practicing Shambhavi for over 40 to 45 days, what you'll clearly see is you have the ability to control your thoughts much more than you were before practicing Shambhavi. So when that happens, I want you to focus on the chakra that you have a purpose in your life, or you want to achieve something, or you want to realize something. So let's move on and talk about the other chakras that Sadhguru has spoken in Isha's website. The second chakra is Sadhisthana. If your energies are dominant in Sadhisthana, pleasures will be more dominant in your life. You seek pleasures. You enjoy the physical reality in many ways. So, when he's talking about pleasures, if we think about where Sadhisthana is placed, it's placed right above your genital organ. That means your energies are highly focused on your sexual efforts. So, if you're constantly thinking about sexual thoughts and sexual efforts, that means your energies are in Sadhisthana. Or if your energies are in Sadhisthana, you will be thinking about sexual needs. It can go either way, like we're talking about here. So the key is to use Shambhavi to give you that control over your mind more than anything. When you have control over your mind, you stop thinking about Sadhisthana. Or in other words, it's much easier to think about something that you want rather than not think about something that you don't want. So, don't think sexual thoughts is not the right way. Think about things that you really want is the right way. If that makes sense. So let's move on to the next one. If your energies are dominant in Manipuraka, you are a doer. You can do many things in this world. This is the place that most of us need to be. If you want to achieve success, if you want to achieve money, if you want to achieve fame, all these beautiful things in life, you need to focus your energies in Manipuraka. right? So, or else, if you're constantly trying to achieve something, or if you're constantly trying to do something in life, right? Not focusing on the other things that we've spoken about, sleep, laziness, sex. If you don't focus on all the other things and you're just trying to focus on, I want to do something in life, then your energies are automatically in Manipuraka. Or if you already have the power to keep it in Manipuraka by practicing Shambhavi, obviously you will be a doer. You're more attracted towards doing things. But the key here is, for over whatever lifetime you are living, you have created these thoughts that in turn change your chemistry of your body. And because of that, no matter how you think, your body automatically takes control over it and starts creating a feeling that it's used to. That is what's going to trigger your mind, and your thoughts are going to change again. So in order for that, you need to be constantly conscious of what you are trying to do in a day, or what your particular purpose is in that particular moment of time. This is the superpower that Shambhavi gives you. And I want you to really use this on a single day, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day basis. Let's move on to the next chakra. If your energies are dominant in Anhata, you are a very creative person. So if you're an artist of any kind, music, arts, whatnot, this is where your energies need to be. If you're constantly thinking about creation, creating something unique, creating something that represents your real inner thoughts, this is where your energies need to be. Or else, luckily, some of us, if they already have their thoughts and their creative aspects of the elements already activated by their Anhata, they'll always be thinking about creating something new. But if most of us are not so blessed, then the way to look at this is, after doing Shambhavi, constantly remind yourself on an hourly basis, hey, this is what I want to create in life. This is my goal. This is what I want to do. If you keep doing that, your energies will move to Anhata. There's no other way, because that's what you're focusing on. What you focus on is what your body is going to go, and where your body is going to think is where your energies are placed, and where your energies are placed is where this chakra is. So that's how you address this from a Shambhavi's perspective of things, on the powers that Shambhavi gives you. Let's move on to the next one. If your energies are dominant in Vishuddhi, you become very powerful. So I think there was a good example given by Sadhguru in one of his videos. If your energies are at Vishuddhi, this is what he calls about Shiva having his energies primarily at Vishuddhi. That's where the snake is on his neck and so forth. So it's the throat chakra. If it's there, you're just powerful. So if you want to become a powerful human being, you act like you're powerful. You believe that you're powerful. If you start doing those things, your energies automatically go to Vishuddhi. That's how Shambhavi will help you, because constantly now your mind is in much more in your control than your body once you practice Shambhavi. So what you're thinking is much more in your control. You can choose your thoughts. Even if you're swaying away from your thoughts, you can always stop yourself and say, hey, wait a minute. That's not what I'm supposed to think. This is what I really want. So you can come back to start doing and making yourself not fall to the body that's accustomed to those chemical reactions that have been happening for so long in your body. So if you want to be a powerful person, you need to constantly think about the power that you crave for, about the power that you want to give to the society, about the power that you want to push over the whole universe. Let's move on to the next one. If your energies are dominant in Agnya, or if you attain to Agnya, then intellectually you are realized. Intellectual realization gives you peace. Experientially, it has not happened yet, but intellectually realization has come to you, which can bring you to certain states of peace and stability within yourself, irrespective of what's happening outside you. So this is such a beautiful sentence, right? Shambhavi actually gives you this power. Like I've felt it for a brief moment, or many moments in my life, when I really want to think about it in that sense of how my mind is so powerful in controlling my thoughts. So let's say that someone said something bad to you. If in that moment you can cut yourself from a fact that irrespective of what anything happens outside of me, it has nothing to do with my happiness, because my happiness is my choice, right? Because now you're conscious. After doing Shambhavi for so long, you become so conscious that you know when someone is trying to agitate you, when someone is trying to fool with you, when someone is trying to make you dance to his tunes. You would know this for sure. Anyone who has done Shambhavi can relate to this. So in that moment, if you're happy, not because he said some mean things to you, because you don't care what anyone says to you, your happiness is completely in your control. You choose that because you're conscious about it. This is what Agnya is. If you are able to be in that state of peace, of happiness that just comes within you, right? You don't need to achieve anything. You don't need to do anything. Just by the nature of yourself, if you're happy, and you cultivate that habit to your body, over time you just start feeling happy. When you're at that state, that's when your energies are in Agnya. That's what he is referring here. It's a very, very powerful way of understanding things, but I hope you can even really use it in small quantities, right? Even if it's just one victory a day, that's still a victory. Even if you don't get angry on one person today, and that's a seed well sown. Because in coming days, now you know how to control that. You can do it. Anything that you know you can do can be repeatable. And once it's repeatable, it can be formed into habit. It can be formed into something more powerful. And that's when your energies are constantly in your Agnya. You're at peace. Let's move on to the next one. And once your energies hit Sahasrara, you're simply ecstatic like crazy. There's no external stimulant. There's simply no reason, but you are ecstatic simply because energies have touched a certain peak. This is probably really, really profound, right? There are times in my meditation that I'm just simply super ecstatic, heavenly ecstatic, right? Outside it's just hard, but in a deep state of meditation, when you're imagining the bliss of existence, the bliss of just the fact that you're alive, and the universe has given you so much to cheer for, and what more do you really need, right? Once you have everything you need, at that point you can feel this bliss or whatever higher level of ecstasy. So if you can stay in that state even while you're not meditating, because I've heard a lot of people get to this state in meditation, if you do this long enough, but consciously, because of Shambhavi, if we can actually practice this state, our energies are centered in Sahasrara. So this is the other way, if I may introduce you to the fact that whatever you put your mind to, that's where your energies are. That's how this universe works. So if you put your mind to the properties of that certain chakra, you can access the energy. You can force that energy to go into that chakra. And obviously, over a period of time, if you keep doing this, your chakras become so energetic that you become that person that you're focusing your energies on. I hope this video really helps you. use your Shambhavi in ways that it's supposed to be. Because this is really, really powerful yogic practice that can really give you control over your mind. And in turn, you can use that to activate your chakras and take it beyond success, take it beyond happiness, take it beyond peace, take it beyond bliss, and keep your energy to Sahasrara or whatever life you choose to. Thank you so much for watching this. Have an excellent day.